Got the guys on YouTube. Hello, everyone. I'm doing a dual stream today, so I've got my focus is split. So hello, Facebook, and hello, YouTube. Welcome to another lesson with me, Anna English, here on English Like a Native. Now, this is going to be an interactive class, as it has been for the last few sessions. I'm going to be helping you with your English writing. So, Facebook, if you want to get involved, then you need to come and view on the YouTube page. And the link for the YouTube page is in the description of this video. So just click that and join me over on YouTube. YouTube, you know what to do. If you're a patron, then the Skype room for you is now open. So I can see you there. And if you're not a patron, then just use the chat room. And if you're watching this later on as a pre-recorded video, just put your practice sentences in the comments. And as soon as I get a moment, I will try to help you with your sentence structure and just correcting any mistakes that I see. So today, as always, we're covering the list of phrasal verbs. So we're doing another 10 phrasal verbs today, just as we did last week. Now, we are up to number 61. We are rattling through it. So without further ado, let's get on into it. So, the first phrasal verb we're looking at is to be cut up. To be cut up. If you are cut up, it doesn't mean you're physically cut into lots of little pieces. It means emotionally cut up. So it means that you're upset. So I am very cut up about something. I am cut up. So it's three parts to this. Be, cut, and up. I am cut up. You are cut up. They were cut up. I might be cut up if you do something to upset me. Okay, so the example sentence I have given for to be cut up is, the couple were cut up about their baby's illness, but the doctors assured them that everything would be okay. The couple were cut up about their baby's illness, but the doctors assured them that everything would be okay. So, hopefully that's quite clear for you. To be cut up is to be emotionally upset, injured, hurt. So I'd like you now to try writing a sentence using be cut up. So you could say I am or I was in the past. I was cut up. You could talk about someone else. They were, she was, he was. My friend was cut up about something. So keeping those all together, try to now place it within a sentence. And as you're doing that, I'll move on to the next one. So the next one is to be down. To be down. Now, if you are down, and this could be one or two things. It could mean that you're depressed. So we use this often to say, I'm feeling very sad, or I'm feeling quite depressed. I'm feeling quite down today. I am down. You are, or you seem to be down. The example sentence I've given for this one is, I am not myself at the moment. I have been very down since I arrived home from my trip to Moscow. I'm not myself at the moment. I don't feel normal. I'm not myself at the moment. I have been very down. I've been very depressed since I arrived home from my trip to Moscow. In fact, we have a phrase for this. When you go on holiday and you come home, sometimes you feel down. You feel depressed because you've had a nice time and now it's back to normal life, to work. And it's not so happy and exciting. And so we would call this the holiday blues. So you could say, I've got the holiday blues. I certainly had the holiday blues when I arrived home from Egypt because I had such a wonderful time with the wildlife and with the people and the culture. And then suddenly I was just back to normal life, but only for a few days because then we had Christmas and that was lovely too. So I had the holiday blues. I felt down for a few days. There is another way to use down. To be down could be something is reduced or it's less than it previously was. So the example sentence I've given for this is about sales, shop sales. So I've said this year sales are down by 25% compared to last year. This year sales are down by 25% compared to last year. Now, it doesn't mean that sales are feeling depressed. It means that sales are reduced. They're less. We've made less sales this year than we did last year. by 25%. That's quite a difference. Okay, so now let's have a look at some of your example sentences coming through. So this is only for YouTube. So guys, if you're watching and you want to be involved and have your writing corrected, come over to YouTube. Let's start with my lovely patron, Alexander. Alexander has said, I was completely cut up and overcome with disgust and dread. Oh, what's wrong, Alexander? But that's great. That's perfect. I was completely cut up and overcome with disgust and dread. Very good. Lady Gaga was cut up about her failure in the concert. Very good. So imagining Lady Gaga, professional singer, she steps on stage and makes a mistake. She might be very upset. So you could say she was cut up. She was cut up about her failure in the concert. Very good. And the bad performance cut Leo Messi up terribly. I like what you've done there, Alexander. You've put the phrasal verb, you've separated it and put the object in the middle. The bad performance cut Leo Messi up terribly. Very good. And the final one from you, the price of milk in Ukraine should be down next week. So the price of milk in Ukraine should be down next week. Good. Yes. It should be down. Yes. Very good. So it should be reduced. Okay, let me have a look at the YouTube chat room. So you guys all saying hello. How many have we got in? Oh, we got 198. Lovely. Nice to see you all. Ahmed has said, I might be cut up when I miss one of your lessons. That's very good, Ahmed. All I would say is make sure you use a capital letter whenever you say I. I referring to yourself, not I as in your eyeball. But I, myself, is always a capital letter. There is no exception to that rule. It's always a capital letter. So I might be cut up when I miss one of your lessons. Now, because you're using might, I might be cut up when I miss one of your lessons. I would use if. It feels odd to use might and then when. I might be cut up when I miss one of your lessons. You could use it, but it seems like you're saying it should be if. If I miss one of your lessons, I might feel upset about it. So I might be cut up if I miss one of your lessons. Okay. Daniel has said, I was cut up when I have got rejection from my investor. All right, let's have a look at this because it's not quite right. So let's have a look at this together. So I'm showing this on the YouTube screen. On Facebook, you won't be able to see it, but you've used a capital letter at the beginning. That's fine. I was cut up. Good. I was cut up. We don't need this. I was cut up. So take away the comma. I was cut up when I have got rejection from my investor. Now, I have got rejection. So you're saying was, so it's in the past. I was when I have got. This doesn't work in that tense. I have got, because that means something you've got right now. It's a continuous thing. I have got many students. It's a continuous thing. I have got a picture in the back. But if something's in the past, I had, or when I received a rejection letter, or you could say when I was rejected. So you could put this when I was rejected by my investor. Yeah, I would use that one. I was cut up when I was rejected by my investor. Yeah, that works nicely. I was cut up when I was rejected. I'll change that. Rejected by my investor. So I hope that makes sense, but that's the way it works. All right, so let's move on. So we've got cut up, to be upset. Down, to be down, is to be depressed or to reduce something or make something less. All right, so the next one is to be fed up. And I hope that none of you do feel fed up or down. And fed up is to be upset, like to be down, but it can also mean to be sick of something. So in the first instance, I might say, when I got back from my holiday, I felt fed up. So in the exact same way I talked about being down, I could use fed up. I was fed up when I came home from my holiday. I didn't want to go to work. I felt fed up. But you can also use it to say you're bored. So imagine you take everything out of this room. I have no phone, nothing to do, and you leave me in this room all day. on my own. By the time someone comes in and says, Anna, how are you? I say, well, I was really fed up, but now I'm happy. So I was bored, but now I'm happy. And you could use it to say that you're sick of something. So imagine you're in an aeroplane and the young person behind you keeps kicking the chair. For an entire 5-hour flight, they're kicking your chair and you're just getting pushed around. And eventually you feel like you're going to explode, or you're fed up. You're just fed up with it. You're like, I am fed up with you kicking my chair. I'm sick of it. I cannot deal with it anymore. I don't like it. Please stop. You want them to stop. So you're fed up of something. I hope that makes sense. So let's now try writing a practice sentence. And the example sentence I used was, I don't know what I've done here. Oh, okay, I see. So the example sentence I've given is, ignore your brother. He isn't annoyed with you. He is just fed up with his job. So imagine that I am your mum and your brother is in a very bad mood. And your brother is being quite rude to you, perhaps, or being unusually miserable. And you think he's upset with you. You think you've done something wrong. And you say to me, Mum, what have I done? Why is he being off with me? Why is he being strange? Why does he seem agitated? Have I done something to upset him? And I would say to you, ignore your brother. He isn't annoyed with you. He is just fed up with his job. He's just fed up. He is sick of his job. He is annoyed with it. He's sick of it. He's sick of his job. So don't worry. Ignore your brother. He isn't annoyed with you. He is just fed up with his job. Okay? Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Have any of you managed to provide me with an example sentence here? Let's have a look. Okay, so I've got one here from Louis. Let's have a look. Louis has written this sentence. If you are fed up to the back teeth, you should ignore the situation. So this is an extension to the phrase to be fed up. To be fed up, you could say I'm fed up to the back teeth of this. It's a very strange phrase, but we do say that sometimes. I'm fed up to the back teeth. Yeah, I've not heard that for a very long time, but I'm fed up to the back of your teeth. So you wouldn't use that. So let's have a look. You've written, so this should be, if you are fed up to the back teeth with something, then you should ignore it. I would write it like that, and then a full stop at the end of your sentence to signify the end. Okay? If you're fed up to the back teeth with something, then you should ignore it. Good. Very good. Do I have any more? Any from my patrons? Yes, I do. So my patron Alexander has said, I don't know why, but sometimes I feel so fed up without any reason. Yeah, that's good. I don't know why, but sometimes I feel so fed up. You could just lose any and you could just put without reason. I don't know why, but sometimes I feel so fed up without reason. Or a native would most likely say for no reason. I feel so fed up for no reason. Okay, good. Okay, so have I got any more? Let me just quickly check before I move on. Hope it's clear. I'm fed up because my boyfriend always falls out with me, says Sylvia. I can imagine you would get fed up with that. Yes, and that's very well structured sentence. All correct, well done. Paluxio has said, I am fed up with airport delays. Very good, and aren't we all? Umbreen has said, I'm just fed up with my low-speed internet connection. I completely understand where you're coming from. Internet connections being slow can be a nightmare. And it always seems to hit us at the most inappropriate moment. But very good sentence, well done. Jitru has said, I'm really fed up. Make sure there's no E at the end of fed, because you've written fade. So it's F-E-D. I am, so you also need an I there. I am really fed up at you. Just an example. Yeah, you could say, and you'd say with you, not at you. I'm fed up with you. So if you're annoyed with someone or you're bored of them, doing something, someone's annoying you, you could just say, I'm just fed up with you. I'm fed up to the back teeth with you and your moods, your bad moods. I'm fed up with it. So you're fed up with. You're not fed up at. Hope that makes sense. Okay, good. Let's move on. So the next one on the list is, if I can find it, yes it is, to be in, to be in. So if you're in, if you say I am in, then it means you're present, you're at work or you're home. So if you live with me, we live together, and you call me from somewhere else, you're at work and you don't know if I'm home yet. So you call me and I say, hello. And you say, you're home. I just called to see if you were in. I just called to see if you were in. And I'd say, well, I am in. I'm going to make dinner. I'll see you later. Okay? So to be present at home or at work or wherever you're expected to be. And it could also mean that something has arrived or it needs to be submitted by. So, for example, if I'm your teacher and I set you an essay to write, then I could say that it has to be in by a certain time. But let's have a look at the example sentences. Not that one. This is what I've written. So to be in at, to be at home or to be at work, to be present somewhere. I've written, could you please tell me if Mr. Bell is in? I would like to speak to him about an important matter. Could you please tell me if Mr. Bell is in? I would like to speak to him about an important matter. And I might say, I'm sorry, he's not in until this afternoon. Should I tell him when he's in that you called? Yes, as soon as he's in, please tell him to call me. Okay. Or when talking about something being in, as in submitted, or to say it should arrive at a certain time, I've written, my essay has to be in by the end of the week. Otherwise, I will fail. My essay has to be in by the end of the week. Otherwise, I will fail. Okay? Okay, let's have a look at some example sentences. So I've got one here. Alexander, going back to the last one, says, I'm just fed up to the back teeth of working 90 hours a week. Very well written sentence. And for the latest one you've written, I said, I'm sorry, Mama, as I got in so late last night. Very good. Very good indeed. And for some of you guys on the chat, I found one from Louisa. Louisa has written this sentence. I'm just going to put it on the notes for you so you can all see it. Louisa has written this. Oops. I knew you were in because the lights were on. Perfect. You could see from a distance through the window the lights were on. So I knew you were in because the lights were on. Perfect. Fabrizio has put this sentence, and this is for the previous example. I'm fed up with cold weather. I just want summertime to arrive as soon as possible. And that also needs a full stop at the end. I'm fed up with, and we need the. I'm fed up with the cold weather. Okay, so that should be the. I'm fed up with the cold weather. So am I. Absolutely. I'm really, really fed up with the cold weather. And I'm fed up with the dark days as well. I want more light in my day. It makes me feel happy when it's light. So I'm fed up with the cold weather. I just want summertime to arrive as soon as possible. Perfect. Really nice. Do I have any more for be in? Any more examples? Okay, so when I'm in, she is always nagging at me. Yes, very good. I have been in home all the time. I have been in home. So here's a good example, one we'll have a quick look at. Who's written this? Theus, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that, I'm sure I have, has written this sentence. I have been in home all the time. So you don't need the word home, because when you're using the phrasal verb been in, we would assume that whoever you're talking to knows what this place is. So you don't need to say in home. You'd never say in home. I've been in home. You could say I've been at home, but that changes the phrasal verb. I've been at home all the time. I was at home the whole time. But when we're using the phrasal verb been in, it's assumed that we know where we're talking about. So I've been in all the time. So it's like if you come to my house right now, I'm in my house, you know it's my house. You come to my house and you say, where were you this morning? And because so you know I'm talking about my home because you're at my home right now. Okay? Hope that's clear. All right, let's move on to the next one. So let's get rid of those. So the next one is to be in on. So to be in on. So if we add that extra little word, it completely changes the meaning. If you're in on something, it means you know something. I know something that maybe you didn't know, or maybe other people don't know. So it's usually used when someone has a secret or a surprise, if you're planning something that not many people are aware of. But I know about it. If I know about it, I'm in on it. I've been in on this the whole time. I knew about it from the beginning. So the example sentence I've given is regarding a birthday. And for the birthday, they're planning to buy a car. And the sentence is, seems like, and actually to help you guys out, I should write it seems like. I'll just change. The entire family was in on the plan to buy me a car for my birthday. It seems like the entire family was in on the plan to buy me a car for my birthday. So it's my birthday, my family bought me a car, and lots of people in my family knew about it, but I didn't. So that my entire family was in on the plan to buy me a car for my birthday. Oh, I wish someone would buy me a car for my birthday. My Fiat Panda has seen better days. That means it's not working very well. It has seen better days. Not today. Today is not a good day for my Panda. Okay. So just a quick question from Louisa. Louisa says, cheesed off is like fed up? Yes. If you're cheesed off, you're annoyed with something, it could be used in the same way as fed up. Of course, fed up can also mean to be bored of something. But if you're using it to say I'm annoyed with something, I'm fed up with it, you can also use it in the same way as I'm cheesed off. I'm fed up with it, I'm cheesed off about it. Okay? All right, let's have a quick look at the Patreon Skype room. I'm not quite sure how I pronounce this. Is it Iha? Iha? You said, if you make a party next Saturday, I'm in. Now, here's an important thing. So make and have, these two words are regularly mixed up. So a party is something you have. You don't make it. You have a party. In English, we have a party. So even if you organize it, and you might even create the decorations and make all the food and the cocktails and things like that. You might create stuff, but hopefully I haven't just lost Facebook because I had a phone call. Good, okay. You might make stuff, but the party is something you experience. You have it. You have a party, like you have a birthday. Okay? So you'd say, if you have a party next Saturday, I'm in. And that would be the right sentence. Okay? If you have a party next Saturday, I'm in. So that means I'm going to be there. I'll arrive. All right? Very good. Rami says, I have a question about down. Please correct me if I'm wrong. A conversation between two guys. Guy 1 says, do you want to join me for coffee? And guy 2 says, yes, I'm down. Yeah, that's slang. I'm down for that. That's slang. It's like write it down on a list. Put my name down on the list. I want to do it. And that's kind of where it comes from. I'm down for that. So yes, that is correct. But it's slang. Everybody but me are in on the practical joke I suffered. So everyone but me. You wouldn't use are, because if it was a practical joke that you suffered it in the past, then we need to use the past of the verb. So it would be everyone but me. Everyone but me. Everybody but me. Everybody but me was in on, so it should be was. Everybody but me was in on the practical joke that I suffered. I would put a little that in there as well. And Alexander, I'm sorry, I have to leave now. Thank you very much for the lesson. You're very welcome, Alexander. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I think we're all with it so far. You're all finding it very easy, which is great. So let's move on to the next phrasal verb, number 66, and that is to be not on. To be not on. Now, if I use this phrasal verb, what I mean is it's unacceptable. If something is not on, then it's not acceptable. So usually we use this when talking about a certain type of behavior. So let's imagine you're at school and I am your teacher and you are disturbing the other students during exams or times when they need to study and concentrate. You're singing very loudly, you're not doing your work, you're not handing in homework, maybe you're throwing things at people, you're just behaving very badly. And then I pull you to one side and I say, look, this kind of behavior is not on. It's not on. It's not acceptable. And if you carry on, I will call your mother. Dun, dun, dun. So here it's written. If you can't see it on Facebook, it's because the note's on YouTube. So if you want to interact and see the notes, then please jump over to YouTube. The link is in the description of the Facebook video here. So I've written this kind of behavior is not on, and if you carry on, I will call your mother. To carry on means to continue. If you carry on, I will call your mother. All right, so off you go. Please feel free to write your example sentences using not on. It is not on. It was not on. It isn't on. Yes, you could do it like that. You could contract it. It isn't on. But more often than not, we say it is not on because we're angry. So we want to articulate our words. It is not on. Okay. All right. So the next one is to be off. To be off. Now, this can be used in a couple of ways. You can use it to describe food, anything edible. So if something is edible and then it's left for a very long time and it perishes and it's no longer edible, you can no longer eat it because it's rotten, then you'd say it's off. It's off. And so the example sentence I've given for this is, the meat smells strange. Maybe it is off. Let's cook something else. So I'm cooking up a storm in the kitchen. I'm doing lots of wonderful things. I take the meat out of the fridge. I'm about to cook the meat and I go, ooh, the meat smells strange. Maybe it is off. I'd probably say it's. I'd contract it. Maybe it's off. Let's cook something else. Okay? So to be rotten. And we can also use it to mean to leave or depart. So you could say, okay, it's been lovely to see you today. I'm off. I am off. I'm going. Or if I come to see you somewhere and I'm a little bit late, by the time I arrive, I come in and go, oh, it's so lovely to see you, but you're putting your coat on. I'd say, oh, are you off? You're not off, are you? I don't mean you're not rotten, are you? I don't mean you smell bad. I'm asking, you're not going to leave right now, are you? You're not off, are you? Okay, so I'm off, I'm departing. Or I might say to you, go and spend some time with your father because we're off in a moment. Go and spend some time with your father because we're off, we're going. We're off in a moment. Okay? Okay, so let's have a look at the example sentence I've written and then you can write your examples. So for meaning rotten or bad, we saw that you heard that one. The meat smells strange. Maybe it is off. Let's cook something else. And be off meaning we're leaving. I've written, right, I'm off to the pub. I'm leaving to go to the pub. I'm off to the pub. Who's coming with me? All right, so I'd like you to give this a go. just so you know, some of you are asking me about the Skype room. The Skype room is a special place for patrons only. I'm sorry, I can't have everyone there, but it is a place for patrons to stand out so that I don't miss their messages. So if you would like to be involved in the Skype room, the patron Skype room, there are also other awards for patrons as well. But the whole point of being a patron is to support my mission, which is to bring as much free education to as many people around the world as possible. No matter whether they can afford lessons or not, I'd like everyone to have access to education. And of course, providing free education is not cheap. I still have to pay bills and get equipment, and I still have to live. And so patrons give a little in order to support what I do, to help me try and reach more people with more education. And so thank you so much, those of you who've supported me as patrons up to now. And if you are interested in helping me on my mission, I can't talk properly. If you're interested in helping me on my mission, then you're more than welcome to have a look and see what patron rewards are available to you. And the link is somewhere, probably, hopefully, in the description box below. Right. Have you given me some example sentences? Let's have a look. So, Nazgul says, I'm off. I'm not up for a party now. So he says, I'm going, I'm not up for a party now. Very good, Nazgul, that's very good. Just remember, I, even if it's contracted into I'm, you still always put a capital letter. So I is always a capital letter. Nita has written, I'm not off soon. I want to watch your lesson now. Good, that's very good and very well written. Marcelo has said, this is off, so better buy a pizza. Yes, I would write who better buy a pizza. So I'd write, so I better buy a pizza, or so you better buy a pizza, or we better buy a pizza. This is off, so we better buy a pizza. So always I would put the object in who. Okay. Mask says, off he goes wearing his coat. This comment can't swim, it'll just float. Oh, a poet. Wonderful. Very good. And this bottle of beer went off after being opened an hour ago. I don't think beer does go off, does it? But very good. I think beer might go flat because it'll lose the gas. But anyway, but yes, it's good. Just make sure you put a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence and a full stop at the end of the sentence. Okay? And final one from Sarah or Sarah, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but you've put, the plane is off in a minute. Yes, the plane will depart in a minute. The plane is off in a minute. Very good. All right, let's move on to the next one. So nearly at the end. Number 68. Fantastic. Number 68 is, there's three meanings to this one, and it's the phrasal verb to be on. To be on. So, first of all, to be on could mean it is functioning, and we use this when talking about machines. So, for example, if I'm talking about my computer, if my computer is functioning, it's working, I'd say it's on. If I switch off the power, then it is not on. I think this is quite an easy one. So, the example sentence I've given for this one is, luckily, the computer wasn't on when the lightning struck the house. Luckily, the computer wasn't on when the lightning struck the house, so it wasn't being powered, it wasn't functioning at the time when we had a storm and lightning struck the house, which could have blown up the computer. Okay? So luckily, the computer wasn't on when the lightning struck the house. Okay, so the next version, the next meaning of to be on could mean it takes place. So something is taking place at a certain time, for example, an event or a gig or a show. So I like musicals and I am a trained actress. So I might be in a show, let's say Les Miserables. If you know this musical, you probably love this musical. It's a very good musical. And hopefully I'm given a role in Les Miserables, and I come on to you all and say, hello everyone, my show is on, it will take place, my show is on in London for the next 3 months. Then we move to Manchester. So my show is on tour around the UK. My show is on in London for the next 3 months. Then we move to Manchester. So that's when it is happening. It will take place. And then finally, to be on something, if you and I are taking medication or drugs, hopefully not drugs, but some people do need medication. But if you are on drugs or you are on medication, then we use this phrasal verb, to be on. So the example sentence I've given here is, she was on strong painkillers, which helped her to manage for a short time. She was on strong painkillers, which helped her to manage for a short time. Okay? I've just seen on Facebook, Andre says, Brazil loves you. And I love Brazil. And I'm going to go there one day, perhaps soon, definitely within the next 2 years. I've been talking to my friend about it today. So Brazil, I'm coming for you. So you just wait. Okay, so let's have a look at your example sentences. So Eva has written this. Da, da, da. I like the name Eva. My niece is called Eva. Eva's written, why is the TV on? Nobody is watching it. Why is the TV on? Nobody is watching it. Yes, my mother used to say that all the time, and that is a well-written sentence. Just know that actually putting double or triple question marks or exclamation marks, if you're being grammatically correct and using the correct punctuation, we would never put a double or a triple. People do when talking on like text or in an informal way to emphasize the question, but normally in a formal way you'd never do that. So it's just something to be aware of. What else have I got? The pager is on the blink. Oh, that's a good one. My pager is on the blink. Should I buy a new one? So this is how it looks. My pager, I don't think anyone really uses pagers anymore. Perhaps doctors or pilots maybe. Tell me, if you use a pager, then let me know. I'd love to know. So you said my pager is on the blink. Now, if something is on the blink, it means that it's not working very well. So you've got my pager is on the blink. Now, you've used is on, which is fine, but actually I would argue that this is actually a slang phrase. To be on the blink. To be on the blink. So this whole thing is a slang phrase. My pager is on the blink. It's not working very well. I should buy a new one. And I would separate that. Okay, 2 clauses. All right, so what else have I got? Okay, one more. I've left the oven on. Tell my husband. I've left the oven on. Hang on. Let me get this over so I can read it and everyone can read it with me. And this is from Salom. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that. I've left on the oven. I've left on the oven, left my house and accidentally set it on fire. Okay, I've left the oven on, left my house and accidentally set it on fire. That's fine. Okay. Just make sure, has that got an extra space there? No, that's fine. Okay, cool. Right, let's move on to the very last one. Oh no, the penultimate one. This one's a fun one. So, to be on about. To be on about. Now, if you're on about something, it means that you are talking a lot about something. Hang on a minute. Okay, so if you are going on about something, it means that you're talking a lot about something. But if I say to you, what are you on about? I'm asking, what do you mean? Or what are you trying to say? What are you on about? What do you mean? I haven't made it very clear, so I'm just going to change this. What is your meaning? Let me show you the notes so you can see them. So to be on about, what is your meaning? What are you trying to say? So here's the example sentence. I couldn't understand what he was on about. It sounded like gobbledygook to me. I couldn't understand what he was on about. I couldn't understand what his meaning was. I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. It sounded like gobbledygook to me. Now, if you don't know what gobbledygook means, then that means that you missed out on some of my slang lessons. So I did the A to Z of slang words. So I did lots of lessons on different slang words commonly used in the UK, and gobbledygook features on the letter G. Slang words beginning with G. So if you don't know what gobbledygook means, I'll tell you now. It means nonsense. But if you didn't know, then I encourage you to go back and watch the slang word videos. There's lots of other words there for you to learn. Okay, I couldn't understand what he was meaning, what he meant, what he was on about. It sounded like gobbledygook to me. So let's have a look at your example sentences. He isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. His mind is half on. His mind is half on. I see. So Vlad, you're saying his mind is half switched on, half switched off. In that sentence, I would use his mind is half off, because that makes more sense. If you say his mind is half on, I'm expecting you to say something else. His mind is half on, I don't know, cartoons. His mind is half on the PlayStation. But if you say his mind is half off, then that completes that sentence, and I understand straight away what you're trying to say. Bruno has just said, what are you on about? Very good. And we say that a lot. If we don't understand what someone's talking about, we'd say, hey, what are you on about? But I wouldn't ask that question to someone at work, especially if they're senior. So that feels very informal. And my boss, if I said that to my boss, what are you on about? They might think I was being rude. So be careful with that one. What are you on about? If your boss says something to you and you don't understand, you say, I'm sorry, I don't follow you. I don't follow you. I don't follow. You could say that, or you'd say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean? That sounds more polite. Okay. Mohammed on Facebook saying, Anna, it's the first time I'm live with you. I'm very happy. I'm live every Monday at the moment. It might change, but every Monday, definitely on YouTube at 4:00, which is, now it's 4:45 in the UK. So 4:00 every Monday, at least for the next few weeks, on YouTube for sure. Okay, so if you don't normally see me live, that's how you know. Now you know where to go and when to go there to find me live. So I've been on antibiotics, and that's why I avoided to drink any alcohol drink. So I've been on, yes. Okay, let's have a look at this, because you're saying you're using the phrasal verb to be on, meaning to use medication. So let's have a look at this. I've been on antibiotics, and that's why I avoided to drink any alcohol drink. So what you need to do here is say, I've been on antibiotics. That's why I avoided drinking. That's why I avoided drinking. And you can just write alcohol. That's why I avoided drinking alcohol. We rarely actually say alcoholic drink. So alcohol is enough. I've been on antibiotics. I would either put a comma here or say and. I've been on antibiotics, and that's why I avoided drinking alcohol. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for you. And what else do I have? Do I have any patrons who want to try this one? Just let me know in the Skype room. Yellow730 has said, I didn't understand what my maths teacher was on about at all. Now I am down. Very good. That's very well structured, and you've done everything correctly with punctuation and capital letters. Well done. Sylvia, I'm absent-minded, so most of the times, just take off the S. We always say most of the time. We don't need most of the times. So take off the S. Oh, I think you've done it. I'm absent-minded, so most of the time I have to ask what they were on about. I'm absent-minded, so most of the time I have to ask what they were on about. Perfect, Sylvia, well done. Felix has said, could I use what are you on about when when just joined a chat with my friends and don't know what's going on. You could, but normally what are you on about is when you haven't understood. So if you've just joined a chat, what you're trying to find out is what's been going on. It's not that you've misunderstood anything, you just don't know what's happening. So it's not quite right to use what are you on about. If you listen to the conversation for a little while and still don't understand what's being said, then you might say, hey guys, what are you on about? But if you've just joined a chat and you want to know what's previously being said or talked about, then you say, what's going on? Or what's happening? And then they would fill you in. To fill you in means they would let you know what's been going on, to bring you up to speed. Okay. So, Miss Fairy has said, is there a difference between being in and being into something? Yes. If you are in, you are present. I am in. I'm in at the moment. I'm in my home. I'm in. If I'm into something, then I'm really keen on something. And actually, let me see if that's... No, it's not. I think that should be coming up on the... Is it coming up? No, it's not. So if you're into something, then it means you really, really like something. I think we probably covered it in last week's lesson. To be into something. I'm really into herbal teas at the moment. I'm really into herbal teas. I really like herbal teas. What are you guys into? I'm really into pop music. I'm really into musicals. I'm really into the theatre. I'm really into YouTube. I love YouTube. So that's what I'm really into. One of you said, what is pager? What are you on about? A pager is a very old-fashioned device that used to send you a little message and say, call this number. And then you'd call the number and find out what they want you for. It was a way of contacting someone. And so doctors would have them, or patients who are waiting for an emergency operation would have a pager. And when the pager went off, they had to call to find out what was happening. Okay, so we're going to come on to the next one, which is the last one for the lesson. And just before I do, I'm going to say two things. One, if you're not already a subscriber on my YouTube channel, then please do subscribe and make sure you press the bell notification button so you don't miss any future lessons. And two, do you like my new outfit? Hang on, let me show you. Do you like it? I was given some vouchers for Christmas to go and buy a new outfit. And so this is what I went to buy today with that Christmas voucher. So I hope you like it. I hope you're into it. Are you into it? I hope so. Okay, so the very last one on the list is to be onto. To be onto. If you're onto something, it means you have a clue about something. I'm aware of something. I know something is going on. I'm on to you. So let's go back to the example of the birthday party where everyone had a secret kept from me to organise buying me a car for my birthday. Everyone was in on it. They were in on it. I didn't know about it. They were in on it. Now, if I start to have a suspicion, if I start to suspect that something is going on that I don't know about, I don't know exactly what it is, but they're acting strange. There's something not right, and I know they're all getting together to organise something big. And so I could say, I am on to you. I know something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I know something's happening. So I'm going to keep my eye on you. I'm on to you. So if you are working for the police or you're an investigator and you're trying to solve a crime and there's somebody that you have a suspicion about, you have no evidence and you don't know exactly, but you know there's something not quite right about them and you're going to keep your eye on them, you could say, I'm on to you. I know some stuff about you and I'm going to find out. I'm going to get the evidence. I'm on to you. Okay? So let me show you. The example I've given is, I must be careful what I say. I must be careful about, I wrote these in a hurry, you can tell. I must be careful about what I say to you. I think the FBI are on to me. I think the FBI are on to me. So the FBI is the Federal Bureau, I can't say it, Bureau of Investigation, or an investigating branch, organization. The FBI, they investigate things, they find things out. I must be careful about what I say to you. I think the FBI are on to me. Okay? So I'm going to do a few more corrections and then I will say goodbye. So what have I got here? Ella, hello Ella. I'm not relevant for this lesson, but I think I shouldn't be in the Skype room anymore, just so you know, and can remove me later on. Oh, thank you for your honesty, Ella, and I'll speak to you a little bit later. Thank you. I was speaking for about half an hour when I realised she wasn't on about. Okay, so in this example, so you've not understood someone they're talking for half an hour and you don't understand. And maybe you don't have the courage to say, excuse me, what are you on about? I don't understand. So instead you just sit there listening. And then finally you realise, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the dog. Now it makes sense. What you would say is, I was speaking for about half an hour when I finally realised what she was on about. When I realised what she was on about. Okay? Hope that makes sense for you. And it's jumpsuit with a P, but thank you very much. I'm really glad you like it. That's really kind of you. Okay, so Reza has said, I must be better because my roommate are onto me. Now, because you used are rather than is, that suggests your roommates with a plural. So if it's more than one roommate, it needs an S. My roommates are onto me. But if it's just one roommate that you have, you'd say my roommate is onto me, because is for a single person, and are is for they are. What have we got? Oh, sorry. The messages are moving so fast, I can't keep up. I'm so sorry. My family is on to me. They must know that I have a secret boyfriend. Well, you have to keep that. You definitely have to try and keep that a secret. I don't know why, but it sounds exciting. My family is on to me. My family are on to me. Are, your family are, rather than is. My family are on to me. They must know. They must know. I think they know that I have a secret boyfriend. Okay, very good. They were onto the lad who had killed Beres. I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry. I'm very bad with names and pronunciation of names. I love you. That is why I'm onto you. That doesn't quite work. To be onto something is to have suspicion about something, to have an awareness of it. I suspect something. So I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say with that one. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's just do a very quick recap of what we have covered. To be onto is to have a clue about something. We also had to be on about. So to understand their meaning, what is she on about? Phrasal verbs, that's what she's on about. We also had to be on. My phone is on, it's functioning. My show, my event is on tonight. So when is it taking place? And I am on antibiotics. I am taking this medication. I'm on antibiotics. Then we had to be off. This food is off. It's rotten. Or, okay guys, I'm off. I'm leaving. And then we had to be not on. So if something is not on, it's not acceptable. So it's not on to behave badly in my class. Okay. Then we had to be in on something, to be aware, completely aware of a secret or a special arrangement that not everyone knows about it. I'm in on it. It's okay. I'm in on the secret. And then we had to be in. I am in right now. I'm in my home. I'm present in my home. I'm in. We can also use it at work. Or I've to submit something, or when something is going to arrive, my essay will be in on time. My essay will be in. It will be submitted. It will arrive on time. Excuse me. To be fed up. So you could mean I'm bored, I'm upset, or I'm sick of something. You say, I'm fed up of washing your underwear. I'm fed up of washing your socks and your pants. You can do your own washing from now on. And then we had to be down, meaning to be depressed or to be low in your mood, to feel sad. Or something's being reduced. It is down. It's down by 10%. Good. And then we had the final one, which was to be cut up. I'm cut up. I'm very cut up about the death of my cat. My cats. I lost both my cats actually around this time last year. And at the time I was very cut up. So there we go. Thank you guys for joining me. I will stick around in the Patreon Skype room for a little while, and I'll stick around in the chat room just to have a quick chat with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Facebook. I'll say goodbye to you guys now. You've been awesome. And if you did enjoy this, then I do have more live lessons every Monday, 4 o'clock. They won't always be on Facebook, but now you know, come over to YouTube, and there are over 300 lessons all pre-recorded and on YouTube. So if you have access to YouTube, I know not everyone does, but if you do, then come over, English Like a Native, the link's in the description. Bye. And YouTube, thank you guys for being so patient and so interactive. I hope you found it helpful. You guys are awesome. And my patrons, you guys are also awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.